Neuroscience is a study of the nervous system with a particular focus on the brain. It is a very complex field with numerous unanswered questions. Due to its complexity, neuroethics is vital. Neuroethics studies the ethical, legal, and social implications of neuroscience, and this field becomes necessary when researchers and organizations begin using predictive monitoring. So what is predictive monitoring? It is a proactive approach to processes and monitoring systems that use data-driven predictive models to anticipate future events or behaviors. Essentially, it is taking past and current data and putting it into computer algorithms to predict future issues.
For predictive monitoring, the first step is to report the data such as historical, real-time, external, and contextual data needed to make the programming. Next, the data is entered into predictive monitoring models and analyzed, for example, by machine learning algorithms. Lastly, once these predictions are given, informed decisions can be made. Implementing predictive monitoring can manifest in various ways, but common uses have been in law enforcement and healthcare systems.
Now that we understand the process of predictive monitoring, some of the benefits include early intervention, increased crime prevention, increased efficiency, and personalized treatments. Predictive monitoring seems to have many positive aspects, and you might wonder why this technique isn't more popular. However, this approach has some serious downsides and ethical concerns. The association between discrimination and bias in law enforcement and healthcare is deeply rooted. This means that many of the criminal or health records of these marginalized groups have strong bias against them. Predictive monitoring models are based on historical data which inherits this discrimination bias. This risks that these models will be created with a bias against minority groups, potentially increasing over-policing and the lack of proper healthcare, leading to further discrimination and inequality. Additionally, moving forward with predictive monitoring and labeling individuals high risk before any concerning behavior exhibited could lead to diminished autonomy. Others could access this information of labeled individuals and could lead insurance agencies, jobs, and society, taking away opportunities or the ability of these individuals to make choices throughout their lives. Furthermore, in the healthcare system, these labeled individuals may be forced into treatments or receive improper care. The extensive collection and analysis of personal data to predict future behavior infringes upon individuals' privacy, as it often involves monitoring sensitive information without explicit consent. Large criminal databases used to make these models are frequently made of samples from crime scenes or suspects which are analyzed and put into a database for comparison. Once this data is collected, it can be used by law enforcement in any circumstance, such as creating predictive algorithms. There's also a lack of transparency surrounding predictive monitoring. Transparency would allow individuals to understand how predictive algorithms work and what data they use. People tend to already perceive law enforcement and healthcare systems with suspicion and mistrust, and predictive monitoring has false positive. If an algorithm wrongly identifies specific neighborhoods or demographic groups as high crime areas, it can increase surveillance, policing, and scrutiny of innocent individuals within these communities and increase this already perceived notion. The big question about predictive monitoring is whether the benefits outweigh the risk. Predictive monitoring could be a useful tool, however, safeguards, serious monitoring, and evaluations must be taken to ensure this technique does not further harm and suppress these already targeted individuals.